Ow!
Transformers battle cry. Robots in disguise. Autobots fighting on crushing Decepticons.
Hi, thanks for stopping by my channel. I'm Ghost Prime, and this is The Mandalorian. Yes, this is a Star Wars crossover with The Mandalorian. He is The Mandalorian. He is not another robot, but he's a Star Wars ship that turns into a robot, and that's cool enough for me. Now, they did have a lot of Star Wars crossovers way back in the day, in the early to mid 2000s. I think there's a resurgence in Japan with a Millennium Falcon. I believe that was 2018. I don't have that one. I did have a few of the other ones, like Darth Vader. I got the Death Star, lived on my desk at work for quite some time. So it is kind of nice to see Star Wars Transformers again. I do like them. So I'm going to go over how does it hold up as a modern figure and a leader class. So please like and subscribe. And without any further ado, let's get to the review. And here he is in the package. This is, of course, previous to opening him. It does come in a window box. In fact, this looks like those new Squadron toys kind of boxes, maybe with the windows open a little bit. Still angled like a Transformer. You got some, I don't know, Star Wars-y type stuff here, buttons and whatnot. Star Wars Mandalorian, the Mandalorian in one Starfighter. I think it's interesting that they didn't give him a name. It's just the Mandalorian. So I think that's very odd because they usually have names on these crossovers. There's on the side and on the back. You can see this, what you could do with it. Nothing on the bottom. And some more of that design work on the top, it's really nice design work. So if you want to keep this in the box, it does display nice as the alt mode. Of course, you'll almost never know it's a Transformer without the branding. Let's get them open. Box there, and we can see the contents of the box. There's some blast effects, the ship, the baggies on the box. Don't forget about this one. This one seems easy to forget about. Booklet, legal paperwork, I think. But let's get them out of this package. There's all these little ties, and I'll be right back. So I decided we're going to check this out all put together like this in its stand mode. This is with every piece that it comes with, all the accessories on the ship and the stand, and that's how you could display it, just like that, with everything there, and you won't lose everything. The ship itself is really nicely sculpted. It looks very good. The only thing I really wish is there was more paint. There just isn't enough paint on this. There's paints for the black and the yellows, but that's about it. Well, I guess some of the paint comes there on the bottom. That's mainly for the robot mode. But it's, I think it looks good. It could use some silver paint and maybe a black wash on it. And this thing would actually look pretty legit. It would look really, really, really nice. One thing that's actually kind of interesting is he comes with these blast effect pieces. And they're all very different. So they're all very, very different. And these ones slide onto here, which I think they should have gone all the way up, and they don't. You also can't attach these to the inside, any of them. So that is sort of weird. So when you attach these on the edge, on the back, attach them like that, you have that little part coming through, and then you attach whatever one you prefer on the end of it. Kind of weird in my book. Kind of weird. Go ahead and put those to the side and take it off the stand. Now, when he's off the stand, he has no landing gear. There is this little point there that it kind of sits and balances, which I guess is accurate for the ship itself. Kind of see it bouncing there. And this here piece is actually comprised of 3 pieces. You don't really need this piece on the end. Let's take off this bottom piece right here. This is both a stand. There you have the, I forgot what this animal is called. I think it was from the first season, if you can see it there. And this could be used as a shield as well, which I'll get to in the robot mode. This piece opens up and comes off of this stand piece. And this is supposed to be a cape, because he does have one, but it's clear. This piece I feel is superfluous. So the ship here, like this, once we get everything off, is pretty basic. From the front, you see this really needs Grogu there really badly. I mean, really, really badly. But to transform him, actually, let's get into size comparisons really, really quick to give an idea of how big this guy is. Unfortunately, I don't have my Death Star Vader, but that thing's super huge. It's put away. So we're going to have to deal with Red Sunstreaker for now. And there he is with Kit. So you can see he's actually, a bit lengthwise, he has some length to him, but he's not that big. All right, so for transformation, we're going to have to remove this back piece. We'll set that aside for now, and remove this piece here. There is some extra functionality we can do this, which I'll go over later. And so this is actually the base robot. So he is a bit of a parts former. Transformation is unique in it. These are the legs. You see his belt here. It's just kind of really odd, right? So they do split. And what's odd about this is these become his feet. So to get his legs, you kind of got to move this piece up. Move this piece up too. Kind of move them out like this, get them open. And then we take this piece, move it out like this. But in order to get the leg to swing around, we have to take it, and it is a tight joint. So move it. I don't know if you can see this. Move it out and around like that. And then that comes around. These come up. This piece here. Let's actually see if I can do it this way. Around. No, it goes like that. Spin this around. Comes the foot. And then there's like this little stop right there. Right there. It doesn't clip in, but it holds okay. And stops like that. So you get a leg. Just turn right there at the thigh. And you do the same with the other leg. Now that we have both legs transformed, I will show you one little thing that was put away. This is his pistol. Little tiny little gun. Don't lose it. So we have to start disassembling this whole piece at the top. So what we're going to do is these pieces here, we're going to lift up like that on both sides. And then kind of disconnect this piece at the bottom and move these wings up and out of the way like that. And this, you kind of see, these are the arms. So this whole wings, so you can kind of see me doing this whole wing section moves up like so. You can take his head out, then these here spin up and around. These reconnect in the back, and for now we'll leave those like that. So we have this part that becomes his chest. Move these up all the way, go inside the cavity. This piece is on a weird hinge, so it's on a hinge there, and then it spins. It does kind of catch a little bit if you don't do it just right. And then there's this other little piece in here that's hard to get in and out. Maybe I should have done that first.
You think?
I'll take that piece out. That. Then spin. And then there's this piece here, tabs into his neck. Get it lined up, right? Or not neck, but I guess the shoulder or the clavicle piece. And then you'll see these pieces right here and right here. And those actually correspond to a little tab, and they snap in place. Like that. Kind of got to give it a little push, at least on that one I do. Oh, there we go, both. And they snap in place pretty good. Waist turns around, arms, down, down, hands, open. We have the hands out, these wings kind of fold up like this. I wish this stayed a little better, so when you move these, it doesn't open up, but it's okay, just hold it like that. We are almost done in robot mode. You take this piece here, and there is a port right there, and there's a tab there. So you put this like so, and it's supposed to be a little cape, and that's really the only use for it, is in robot mode. And it looks okay, I guess. It's just completely unnecessary.
that I have to pay for.
So we have this tail piece here, and this is supposed to go up and like this to become sort of a rifle, and then you have a little port for his hand, so he holds it. I get that in there like that. And he has this pistol, which I showed you before, goes into here. His cape just fell off. I'm going to leave that cape off because I don't like it anyway. And that just snaps in there. And what's cool about this, the gun snapping in there, is that it does clear for posing. But this is where we could take this piece here. There's a pig on the bottom where he gets a shield, an energy shield. So that's cool. But if you happen to have a Baby Yoda Grogu figure, you put these pieces back together, have this little piece here, goes on here, and it could follow him. They needed to have this thing there so badly. It would have made this so cool.
It's a damn shame.
But yeah, so as a robot, not so bad. I actually really like the head sculpt. It is, very Mandalorian, which is what it should be. But I think the chest looks good. The sculpt on it's really nice. The only thing I don't like is these big hollow pieces in the back. Backpack's okay like that as it is. This is kind of neat because he does have a jetpack, right? But it doesn't show like the missile and all those other things. But he does have a jetpack, so you could pretend and put blast effects. So you could pretend he has a jetpack. So that's a neat thing too. He's got a little triangle that shows up there on his hand. Otherwise, it's all the same paint. A little bit of an eyesore for the screws on the front of the arms, I think, but overall it's all right. Articulation, let's do that real quick. You can kind of move this around, and then he could do a 360, but the backpack gets in the way of him doing 360 around with the shoulder there, but he could go pretty far up, further if you move it around. He has bicep, 90 degrees at the elbow, wrist rotation. He has waist rotation, no ab crunch, pretty far front forward on the legs, backward. His knees, so this knee is tight, but he kind of has a double knee because of transformation, so he can turn his knee there and there, but what that does is gives you very wide range of knee articulation. A little bit of A-frame, or ankle articulation for A-frame stance, and A-pose, looks pretty good. All in all, this piece here, I kind of like to keep it like as a tail. It almost feels like it's a lance to me, and that looks good with the other piece as it would be like maybe a lance and a shield. I think that's actually kind of a cool way to display him personally. Sans having a Baby Yoda in there. So you might be asking yourself, how big is he? There's the Studio Series 86 Springer for comparison. He's a little shorter, as you could tell. He comes with a lot less things than him, and we all know he's actually a Voyager to begin with because he's just a Reachful of Seed Springer. So, and he doesn't have a lot of engineering on him. I think that has to be the Star Wars license jumping up that price. The Walmart price on this was much more acceptable price for this figure. And there he is with Cordon for a modern sort of, I guess, deluxe-y figure. And with that, let's get to some final thoughts. So in conclusion, I say if you see this guy for that $27 that Walmart had them for recently, pick it up. Honestly, it's pretty good. It's fun. It's got a fun transformation. It actually looks great in the alt mode. Doesn't really have that robot bit under it. They did a good job on the transformation. Even though it's parts for me, I don't necessarily mind as long as the final product is as good as this. It's pretty good. It is small for what it is. And I wish there was some like silvery paint on this. This thing could do with silver paint all over it, and it would look fantastic because the sculpt work is there. So if you happen to see it and it's good price, I would say pick it up. And if you like Star Wars, pick it up. Anyway, let me know what you think of this guy in the comments. And as always, I'll see you in the next review.